something that was true. Listen to this. By a continuing process of inflation, governments can confiscate secretly and unobserved an important part of the wealth of their citizens. There is no subtler, no surer means of overturning the existing basis of society than to debauch the currency. The process engages all the hidden forces of economic law on the side of destruction and does it in a manner which not one man in a million is able to diagnose. John Maynard Keynes. He told the truth there. And that's what's happening to all of us because of the Federal Reserve and the government that is complicit with the Federal Reserve. We should not allow any senator or congressman that voted for any of those bailouts to remain in office. You need to work. Everybody needs to work hard to get every senator and every congressman who voted for those bailout funds out of office now. And we can do it. And they should be tried for treason. That's a very good point. Treason against the Constitution. Now, Ed was telling you about our Continental Congress. I just spent 11 days there. Everybody raise your hand who was at the Continental Congress. There's about 25 of us here. They're from all over. These guys are from Maine. 48 states sent 3 delegates. We had about 130 people from all over the country. We sat in a room for 11 days. We sent instructions to Congress, to the state, to their state legislators, telling them to end the Federal Reserve now and go back to silver and gold currency. The point is, folks, is that our Constitution never allowed the Congress to delegate or abrogate their responsibility to manage our monetary system and our system of credit. It's their responsibility. They have no authority to delegate that in the Constitution. We can take it back. Through Congress, we can get them to eliminate the Federal Reserve and go back to sound money now. So, I'm not going to spend any more money. You guys can read about this. I'm going to tell you what to do, though, so you can take action to get this done. 1, go to cc2009.us. That's cc2009.us and learn about what we did in the last 11 days. If you can support us and support all those delegates from all over the country, we can get rid of this Federal Reserve. But it's going to take we think about 15 million people to sign on to what we did and help us out. And you guys go back to your states, go back to your state legislators, go back to everyone you know, and tell them about CC2009, cc2009.us. Then read End the Fed by Ron Paul. How many people have read End the Fed by Ron Paul? Get End the Fed by Ron Paul, buy 10 copies, give them to your friends, have them do the same thing. It's a fantastic book. Ron Paul is trying to audit the Fed. Get this, folks. Ron Paul has over 300 co-signers on his bill right now in the U.S. Congress to audit the Federal Reserve. But guess what? That thing has been sitting in committee for months. Barney Frank and Nancy Pelosi are doing everything they can to kill that bill. Now, it finally made it out of committee last week, but now guess what? Now they're attaching it to bills that nobody else could vote for. Ron Paul can't vote for it because his bill is being attached to other ridiculous spending bills. So we have to put pressure on our congressmen to audit the Fed. Once the Fed is audited, folks, this whole thing gets exposed. Guess what? 100 years, the Fed has never been audited. Never. In 100 years. Now, does that sound like a government organization that's never been audited? It's a private bank. It's a private corporation. It's not even a bank. It's owned by private individuals. We have to get rid of it. Read this. CommonSenseRevisited.com. CommonSenseRevisited.com. Buy 100 copies and give them to everybody you know. Their picture on the wall. Not a conspiracy